Hey everybody, Adam Savage. I'm at Fonco in Los Angeles with Fonco's art director and friend of Tested, Michael Corey. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I'm even better because I'm standing in front of, well, tell the audience what this beautiful thing is.
So this is obviously a replica of the Book of the Dead from 1999's The Mummy. This is
one of my favorite props in film.
Mine too, and this started about, 4 or 5 years ago from the RPF, the Replica Prop Forum member. I think Adam Matta offered up castings of the stunt Book of the Dead.
Yeah,
I think you bought the same kit.
I bought a set of those.
And as soon as it arrived, I was like, this is the neatest thing I've ever seen. I need to build it. I built it, and it's like any other stunt prop. It's not perfect in any way, shape.
It was very satisfying to get the castings and open up the screenshot research I had done and see, oh yeah, this is absolutely from production.
Yeah.
Right? That was that was completely clear.
Yeah, it was great to see that. And then when I built it, I was like, I need a better one. So I ended up working with a friend of mine, Greg Nowling. This was back when I lived in Indiana, by the way.
Yeah.
And we started just making one. And then we made the stunt versions that we didn't open at all.
Right.
And they were just hollow. And then I brought those to Silicon. And that's where you first saw the ones that I had built. And then, but it was that obsession of I need more. And
the closer you get to something that is an experience, the more you want the actual genuine experience.
And you watch it in the movie, and of course they turn the lock, it opens, there's this wonderful click.
You want all of that.
I wanted all of it. So that began the process of research. And then throughout that process, I think we had chatted about it a couple of times, and then I got to the point where I was pretty deep into it, and then this really nice fellow named Adam Savage shared all of his research with me, which tickled me to no end.
Oh, right, because I had taken detailed pictures of every page of this.
And it was great when you sent me your all of your research, that the books that I had made were in the research at that point, which was kind of fun. And this is what effectively is the second prototype of a fully functioning Book of the Dead replica that is fully mechanical. It has the working locks, it has all of the pages. It's still in its nascent form. It's still not fully finished, so some of the geometry is off. And sometimes doesn't work,
and this is no longer a personal project.
No, it is not. This is now, I'm working with a company called Factory Entertainment that makes licensed prop replicas. Yeah. And once we have this finalized, it will actually go off to be produced and will be available to the public to buy a Book of the Dead with a functional key, or the Book of Amun-Ra, the all gold one, because I designed this to have all of the parts that need to change to be able to be swapped out to just make all the parts necessary, because a lot of it is shared.
A lot of it is shared. That's what I was wondering, if it was shared. And so this is still currently castings from that stunt casting.
Negative.
No,
these are all new models.
Oh, okay.
All of the models are absolutely brand new. I never recast anybody else's stuff.
Sure.
So like the books that I originally made, the ones that were just hollow, when I started this, I used those models to see if I could make it work. And it ended up being so much of a difficulty to go from a non-functioning book to a functional book that we had to start from scratch.
Okay, so you then started to build this front cover with the eye towards making it mechanism acceptable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because this cover is mostly hollow.
Ooh, okay.
Because it has to hold all of the mechanism to work. And I ended up working with a friend of mine, Cam Stern, and even our own 3D modeler here, Elliot Sirota, to try and make this thing work just right, and it's still not there.
Can we walk through its mechanics? Do you wanna...
Absolutely, yeah. So the original book, they had a pretty complex lever system that opened this thing, a relatively complex system.
Yeah.
So I had to break that down into a pair of carbon fiber rods that are shifted by a small wedge that actually moves a lock to the side that actually allowed these to open.
Oh, so it pulls them in?
It pulls them down.
Ah, gotcha.
And then you need a key to open it, of course. So this is just a stand-in for what eventually will. And I'm hoping it might not fully work, but, well, one of them did. And this is, again, the issue of prototypes, is that...
Yes.
So it just has these small tabs here, which need to be redesigned to make it function properly. But it's, to make it work properly, it's actually just held in place by a magnet.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that it can access the mechanism itself. It's a really simplified version of this, of the actual original mechanism. But it just shifts it to the side. It's caught on this hook. And I've developed an early prototype that works, that these other teeth are here to catch a strip of carbon fiber. There's a resonating chamber underneath this.
Oh, so it goes click, click,
it gets
click,
the clunk,
click.
clunk, clunk, clunk
nice.
to try and make that a realistic sound so that because that was added in post in the film. But I want it to be real. I want people to have that experience.
So then they turn it around until it hits, there we go, I see.
And then it just, I need to add a spring in here to get it to return.
Yeah.
But then people can open their Book of the Dead.
Oh, right. And I love that every one of these rings is actually holding on to a different page.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you end up getting to doing laser cutting on these?
These are all printed.
Oh, wow.
Every one of these pages is printed. Some of the printing, the hieroglyphs got off a little bit. And that's, again, this is part of the prototype phase of this book, is getting these to work. And and some of them are a little less, oh, that one just is breaking.
Oh, yeah, I will stop.
But this is again, the dangers of prototyping.
Yeah.
So, and the geometry of some of the pages is off just a little bit. But this is, I'm very close to having a completely functional, like perfect Book of the Dead.
It looks really good.
I'm not happy with it because it's not done yet.
Yeah,
you know
of course, I do.
But this is, it's as far as I've gotten in my 4 or 5 years of obsession with it. And you can pick it up. It's perfectly safe to pick up.
That is really, really lovely. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And eventually you plan to actually, after the factory entertainment, you plan to make one for yourself in cast aluminum or cast metal?
I've actually spoken with a couple of people that do bronze.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to have So a couple of the original heroes, the hero mechanicals, are bronze.
One of the ones I handled was bronze. It was masterpiece.
The Book of Amun-Ra and the Book of Amun-Day, as this is called in the Book of the Dead and the Book of Life, they both had a bronze version of them, which, like, how this book was developed was really weird too, because when the production reached out for people to make it, the company that took on the job was an architectural design firm, which was they built it very heavily, as you've seen, and it's rather complex. And unfortunately, having reached out to them, they still won't say who the sculptor was.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that if somebody will come forward and say, oh yeah, that was me, or that was my dad, or whomever.
Right.
Because I'd really love to know more of the story behind this, because one of the, and I believe it's possibly apocryphal, tales about it is that the only found part on this is actually the eagle or vulture's head. Oh, and that everything else was made from scratch. Everything else was made from scratch, because this apparently came from a 19th century tea trolley. That's the, but again, it's apocryphal. Right. I don't know for sure, but it's Hollywood's ideal of a real thing. I also love that, like, when these videos go up, that's often where this information goes into the interstices and the information comes back. Yeah. Right, and people pipe up and let us know. Yeah, and hopefully someone knows, because I'd love to reach out to them if they're still around and chat with them about this to learn more of the background behind this book. It's so beautiful, Michael. Okay, you've been also teasing that there's a surprise under here. But before we get to that, tell me about this magnificent thing. What is this? So this is a 14-foot replica of a Book of the Dead, an actual Book of the Dead. Where do I get one of these? This is so beautiful. There's actually a maker on Etsy that makes these. There's actually a couple makers on Etsy that do these. Oh, okay. This one I've had for quite a while now. This is what the real Book of the Dead looks like. Yeah, and they weren't even called Books of the Dead, because that is actually, that term Book of the Dead comes from 1888. From a German Egyptologist named Karl Lepsius, because when he was translating stuff into German, there was no real direct translation of what these were called, which was the book of, which were the spells of going forth by day. And it's really just etiquette on how to act in the afterlife is what these were. And they became really common in the New Kingdom right around 1550 BCE. And they, like a version like this, you would see someone who is of a higher status. Wow. And there were versions that have been found for people of lower status. Yeah. So they were really, really common. Do they include less etiquette? They don't need to worry about Maybe they didn't have to be as nice. I'm not sure. But you have, like, the really famous thing about this, the Book of the Dead, of course, we're right here at it, which is the weighing of the heart against a feather. Oh. And this is what most people know of from this. But Karl Lepsius called it in the German in Totenbuch, which translated to Book of the Dead, because he didn't quite know how to translate what this thing actually was. Right. So it's actually a misnomer, and so Book of the Dead was never used in ancient Egypt. But so your obsession as a fellow completist with the Book of the Dead is to obtain the actual copy or something, a facsimile. This is beautiful. And this is small.
Would it have been larger?
No, this is a small version of what could be, because the largest one of these is, I believe it's called the Manuscript of Ani, which is in the British Museum.
Yeah.
And it's 78 feet long. This
Oh,
one's
okay. So 14 feet is like
it's
roughly
probably
smaller.
middle class, you know.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I'm going on Etsy today.
Yeah. Good luck getting this thing framed.
Yeah.
Turns out they don't make glass that's 14 feet long, unfortunately.
I don't think I even have a wall in my house long enough.
Right.
Okay, but you've been teasing that there's a surprise under here based on the construction of this, and I'm just very curious. I'm gonna
shift that out of the way. So we'll move this over here. So while I was building this, I ended up making a lot of prototype parts, and I had some parts left over. And a good friend of mine who you've met, John Harrington, a prop master here in town, he made a joke, and he said, "You need to make this," and it stuck in my head. So, as someone who as someone who obsesses about things and wants to take things to the nth degree, that's where this came from. Instead of the Book of the Dead, it's actually the Phone Book of the Dead. This is.
Oh, this is how to call them.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of problems with this. One, because there was no telephone system in ancient Egypt.
Sure.
But when he said that, I thought, well, what would the Phone Book of the Dead look like? And this is just spare parts. It doesn't have a mechanical system to it.
Fair.
But the interior is all papyrus. And of course, you have advertisements like pet mummification and river tours. And all of the hieroglyphs are relatively correct as far as translation goes.
Come to the pyramids for the summer.
This is Afterlife Insurance.
Oh,
okay.
This is.
Asp Busters, House of Hair. But then I started doing phone numbers, which this is actually the correct way to do numbers in hieroglyphics. But it's a prop, so these are all 555 numbers.
That's a deep cut, man.
Yeah, and that's as far as I got.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and this was just me having fun with spare parts. And also my friend John saying, hey, make the Phone Book of the Dead. I was actually if I'd had time to do it, I was actually going to take one of these covers, because I have a couple of the covers at home, and sculpt the face from the Necronomicon onto it. And it would have been the Book of the Dead. I'm not sorry for that joke.
I can't wait to see all the books of the dead. Whether it's the Phone Book of the Dead. Dude, this is really, really lovely work. I cannot wait to see it come to fruition.
I'm excited to finally be at a point where it's close.
Yeah.
You get that feeling you're near the finish line. And this one, it's not ready yet. It's not done. It's not perfect. And that bothers me to no end. But knowing that it's right around the corner and that anybody can buy one after that. Like bringing this to the public is really exciting for me.
So amazing. I want to make one little piece of advice.
Yeah.
You might get a better release on this if this pin is a little larger.
Yeah, that's one of the issues that I've started to look at, like the size of this pin. But then also I need to actually change this to a non-rounded cylinder. It needs to be square because it's pulling against itself with the strength of the springs. It's actually rotating in place, which is preventing release. It's binding inside, which was something I discovered last night because I finished this book last night.
Gotcha. Oh, right. Of course, it wants to. It wants to go
back.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You could fix that also with just a straight on it on the main rod.
I had thought about that, but then it causes more binding in the channel. So it's going to be. I'm going to end up either redesigning the channel inside here,
right,
or I'm going to experiment with.
You have room to maybe even make a full flat bar there.
Quite possibly. Yeah. Which would take away almost all the issue, but then it's just. I'm trying to use the existing design if I can. Sure. But if I can't, then I'll go back to the drawing board.
That's very cool.
But as far as manufacturing goes, to be fair,
you have to be able to make this has to be injection molded eventually.
Ideally, injection molded. There has been some talk of actually making them from die cast, which they would weigh about 3,000 pounds. Yeah, no, roughly. I'm hoping for injection molded because it'll make it more accessible to people.
Right. Yeah, Dude, I cannot wait. Thank you so much for showing me
Adam.
this. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching that video. If while watching any of my videos you like any of the t-shirts that you see me wearing, well, you can go buy them. And there's two places you can get them. First, you can go to tested-store.com, a web address that my crew laughs is one of the hardest things for me to remember in my whole brain. But now they've given me a second URL. You can now go to adamsavage.com and buy any of the t-shirts you see me wearing on this channel. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff there too. Thanks.